their belief, so I just said that if we could get an early goal, then I believed we could go through.
The away goals victory earned Schalke a place in the final 8 and a chance to dream for their loyal supporters, for whom Herveders embodies everything they stand for.
Football is a type of religion for this area, this region. When you see the energy and the passion the fans in the stadium have, it's so impressive. I like it when a club is alive, when there's energy, when football isn't just a sport, but a way of life for the people. You feel that here, and in turn, the fans demand that we play with the same feeling, and that we put our bodies on the line for the cause. If you don't give your all, you'll deservedly get booed, so we always have to try to deliver our best on the pitch.
He just pulled me over halfway through the warm-up. He was one of the coaching staff, and he said, "Just enjoy it because you wanna remember it," and that's what I did. You can visualise it all you want, but when you get to the game, it's never what you imagine.
Matter to cut it back again, and Rashford has got the dream goal that he was looking for in his debut, and one he will never, ever forget. Written in the stars.
Let's go. The first goal, in terms of feelings, of all of my goals that I've scored, that was the biggest in terms of emotions, and I think it's something that can't be replaced. The first one's always going to be special to you.
A special night for a special talent. Marcus Rashford's goals on his first team debut saw him displace the legendary George Best as Manchester United's youngest scorer in European competition. A remarkable feat for the boy from the outskirts of Manchester.
I moved from Withington to Withenshaw when I was about 7 years old. I didn't know a lot of people around in the area. My first day in school was just all playing football, and then all of a sudden you get like loads of friends that are playing, that just want to play football as well. So, and them friends that I met when I was 7 years old are the same friends that I have now.
As a schoolboy, Rashford joined Fletcher Moss Rangers, a youth football club famed for developing some of Manchester's finest talents. A move to United's academy followed, where he would link up with one of his greatest influences, youth coach Paul McGuinness.
The player that you can see in me now wasn't the player, nowhere near the player that you seen in me when I was 14, 15, so he's changed everything into what I am now. I'm sure he'll be proud of what he's seeing now, because I'm proud of kind of changing my game and understanding the game in a different light.
At senior level, Rashford has continued to flourish. He also scored debut goals in the Premier League and for England, earning him a place in Roy Hodgson's Euro 2016 squad. This season, Jose Mourinho has added Zlatan Ibrahimovic to his attack, and alongside club captain Wayne Rooney, Rashford is now learning from two of the very best.
It's invaluable what you can learn from them, even off the pitch, the way the mentality is, and I think from training, sometimes you learn an awful lot more than what you can learn in the games. They've got the knack of being in the right place at the right time, so I think they've developed that as well as their career have gone on, so it's something that you can look at today.
Up next in the Europa League is a quarter-final tie with Anderlecht. The Red Devils enter the game as the competition favourites and will look to draw on the special European nights of years gone by.
Even watching the games, when the build-up to a game that's played at 7:30, 8 o'clock, there's something different and something special about it. At this club, we play to win trophies. It doesn't matter what competition it's in, whether it's Europa League or Champions League. We're Manchester United, and we'll always have a chance of winning it.
So, Manchester United and Marcus Rashford travel to Anderlecht for their quarter-final first leg on the 13th of April. with all 4 ties set to be concluded a week later. We'll be back ahead of the semi-finals. Until then, goodbye.
Oldest football cup in the world beckons within touching distance, but earning it is no simple task. First comes the collision between Chelsea and Tottenham.
It's a perfect pass. It's a brilliant finish.
Then Arsenal and Manchester City give their all for the taste of victory.
Oh, what an effort! What a goal!
Who will forge on? Find out in the FA Cup semi-finals, live on Astro Supersport 4 and Astro Go.
Westbrook has passed his way into NBA history.
I don't know if I'll be the best player to only one major.
I'm sitting right next to the ref and asking for a timeout, and the explanation he gave me I never heard before in my 14-year career.
Come on in, sports fans. Reem and Mark here, ready to dish out some history lessons on Daily today.
Oh yes, there's so many records to tell you guys about, and we're going to get things started right away in the NBA with the man, Russell Westbrook.
Yes, now he failed against Memphis last Tuesday and was made to wait in Phoenix when he was 2 helpers shy of the record. But nothing was going to stop him from writing his name in the history books in Denver. Russ and his band of brothers have already beaten the Nuggets twice earlier this season, so it was a happy hunting ground for OKC.
This could be it right here. Samaje Christian, that is it. Russell Westbrook has passed his way into NBA history with his 42nd triple-double on the year.
You know, I can't take the credit. You know, I've been blessed, like I told you before, man. I'm so thankful to be able to go out and compete at a high level, and every time I get on the floor, I try to leave it out there.
He finally broke the record in the 4th quarter, and with that monkey off his back, there was still a game to be won here. Trailing by 10 with less than 3 minutes to spare, Russ drove in for the layup to cut the gap. And then with time quickly running out, he made it 103 to 105 with this right here. And then there was a chance to regroup. When play resumed, Kyle Singler finds Steven Adams, who feeds who else but Russ. No mistake from the man who just made history at the buzzer. 50 points, 16 boards, 10 helpers in this game for Russ, and OKC win their 3rd in 4 games.
And what awareness. What awareness. You see, watch Chandler, he needs a fade out there, he doesn't.
The feat sees Russ leapfrog the great Wilt Chamberlain in the all-time list of triple-doubles. There's still a long way to go before he can overtake Jason Kidd in the 3rd. Well, maybe next year.
42 triple-doubles. You now hold the NBA record for most triple-doubles in a season. What is it like to be a part of history?
It's amazing. It's something I never could dream about as a kid, man. I'm just very thankful and blessed to be able to go out and compete at a high level, at the highest level. And
was there a point in this season where you knew it was possible?
My motto is why not, and I always stick by it, regardless of what people say, what is possible, what's not possible. I continue to think why not, and continue to strive to be the best I can be.
You would have to go back a decade to the last time anyone had at least 4 50-point games in one season, and that honor falls on Kobe Bryant back in the 2006-2007 season when the LA Lakers got 10.
Well, unfortunately for Denver, the 1-point loss to OKC meant they'll be not playing in the postseason again. It's the 4th straight time that they've missed out on the playoffs. Despite Danilo Gallinari's best efforts on the night with 34 points and 10 rebounds. Now, the last time the Nuggets made it past the regular season, George Karl was their head coach and Andre Iguodala was in the team. We've decided to jump the gun just a little bit here. Even though there's 2 more games to be played in the regular season, if the playoffs started tomorrow, this would be the matchups to look forward to in the first round. Not that they're expecting a lot of changes in the next couple of weeks, though. Well, even more history was made at the Masters when Sergio Garcia finally took home a green jacket. Now, it was his 11th attempt at winning the first major of the year, adding to his accolades in 2017 after his victory at the Dubai Desert Classic in February. Garcia also became the first Spaniard to win the Masters since 1999. Well, having led into the second round of the tournament, Garcia got his final day going with 2 birdies in his first 3 holes, including right here at the par 4 first, which would prepare him for the onslaught that was to come.
I knew I was playing well. I was very calm, much calmer than yesterday. Much calmer that I've felt probably in any major championship on Sunday. So obviously Justin wasn't making it easy. He was playing extremely well, but I knew what I was capable of doing, and I believed that I could do it.
Well, like he said, his closest competitor, Justin Rose, kept at his heels, getting this birdie at the par 5 8 to move to 8 under, laying the pressure on Garcia. But if there was any stress on the Spaniard, he was great at masking it, especially here at the 15th. He'd get an eagle to move 9 under. Approaching the final hole now, both men were tight at 65. Garcia unable to get anything but par at this hole in his previous 3 rounds, while Rose had 2 birdies and a bogey here. The Englishman would make par this time.
I kind of felt that if I could make that one, certainly his putt got very difficult. And then when I missed my putt, I feared for the worst.
He did, and Garcia, on the other hand, couldn't do any better, finishing with a round of 69, forcing this into a playoff. And the playoff didn't go down too well for Rose, and you can tell by his facial expressions right here. That one going away too much to the right. Not looking good, and that left Garcia with 1 shot to end his drought at the majors and to become champion at the 81st edition of the competition. Congratulations, Sergio Garcia. Well, it's been quite the wait. Garcia went through 74 majors before actually ending his title drought, and now Lee Westwood has taken over Garcia's spot as the only active player with more starts at a major without anything to show for at 75 appearances. Here's Garcia talking about what it's like waiting for his first major.
It's always nice to be recognized or seen as the best player to not have won a major, because at least best player, you know, there's a good thing there. So that's the way I looked at it, and well, I don't have to answer that anymore. Now I have to answer, I don't know if I'll be the best player to have only won one major. So, but I can live with that.
It was a pretty auspicious day to win his first major as well. On the 60th birthday of former Spanish legend and 2-time Masters champion, Seve Ballesteros. Garcia became only the 3rd man from Spain to own the green jacket after 2-time champ Jose Maria Olazabal did it back in 1994 and 1999. Still ahead on Daily, who was James Harden talking about when he said this?
And they have it.
I thought winning was what this was about, period. So I'm not going to get into depth with all that, but I thought winning was the most important thing.
The Prudential Astro Masters celebrates 20 years of golfing excellence and is back to challenge golfers on the best courses with great goodies plus awesome prizes in all par 3s, including a Mazda 6 valued at 216,000 ringgit. The grand finals takes place in Muscat, Oman. So don't miss out. This could be your year.
Hey, wait, come back. This is not a commercial. It's not a commercial. Actually, it is, lah. It's more than that, though. As a consumer, we always want extra perks for everything we buy. Waterproof one on this phone. Wow, slow-mo shot. Wow. You guys are serious about a demo. In most loyalty programs, when you purchase something, they reward you with either cash or points. But at Sen Heng, for every item you purchase, you get both cash and points. Double rewards. Shock, right? Oh, yo, it's the Samsung SUHD Curve TV. Hey, this TV waterproof one, ah?
What a superb run. And he finds the back of the net. What an extraordinary day he has had. Got to score. Got to score. No excuses. How unlucky can you get? There is no such thing as perfect. It had controversy, it had goals. That is football's 7th heaven.
Fans are very important for us. Thank you for the support and keep going.
This broadcast of the Premier League is brought to you by Brickfields Asia College, the fastest and smartest way. MyEG, your e-government service provider. And Wanda Coffee. Try the new Wanda Extrapresso.
The Prudential Astro Masters celebrates 20 years of golfing excellence and is back to challenge golfers on the best courses with great goodies plus awesome prizes in all par 3s, including a Mazda 6 valued at 216,000 ringgit. The grand finals takes place in Muscat, Oman. So don't miss out. This could be your year.
LeBron James feeling his balls, and I think it's safe to say it's nice and firm because against Atlanta, the King was busy to dish to Kyrie Irving right there. And later on, the same combo, LeBron finishing with a triple-double on the night. Kyrie didn't get a TD, but scored a heck of a lot more points, 45 on the night. So Cavs with a 26-point lead going into the final Q, but it was not enough to keep the Hawks down, because in the fourth, Atlanta went big. Tim Hardaway Jr. And then Paul Millsap with the flush. And then came the late drama. Millsap fouled when attempting the 3-ball by LeBron. He would actually make all 3 foul shots to cut the lead down to 2. Hawks outscoring Cleveland 44-18 in the fourth quarter. And from the ensuing play, Kyrie gets trapped in the corner. So no foul. Instead, it's a jump ball.
A little bit behind Kyrie, so he didn't really have time to catch and go.
So here's a jump ball ending up in the hands of Millsap. Clock winding down the jumper to tie the game and send this one into overtime. And in OT, LeBron James gets into some hot soup. Watch a 4-time MVP under the rim right here. He gets called for his 6th personal. And at this point, Cavs were protecting a 3-point advantage. So we're down to the final seconds of OT. Who's your game winner going to be? Who do you think it's going to be? Well, it's not your usual guy, Mike Muscala, playing hero, and Cavs lose again. LeBron was not too happy about it.
14 on the shot clock.
How much is the fine for talking about the refs? Is it like 50? 25? Not worth it. Not worth it, so sorry. I had some good conversation with the refs. And just a few plays that didn't go our way. That's not the kind of the first step that led to the breakdown of what happened in that fourth quarter.
With the jump ball for Kyrie in the corner, I'm sitting right next to the ref and asking for a timeout, and the explanation he gave me I never heard before in my 14-year career. Never. So, it doesn't, take away from the fact that, we still had a huge lead to start the fourth, but, every play counts no matter what's going on.
Excuses, eh? So what that all means is this. Cavs and Boston are tied for the best record in the East. Cleveland's last 2 games are against Miami, who can still actually book a playoff ticket, and Toronto on the final day of the regular season. Boston, meanwhile, have Brooklyn for the company next, followed by Milwaukee. And if both teams finish level, Cleveland will clinch top seed by virtue of a better head-to-head.
Meanwhile, over in the West, James Harden was determined to put on a show after hearing of Russell Westbrook's record-setting display, and he did it all by himself, starting with a couple of threes here. There were 9 in the first quarter.
And they have it.
Now, the Sacramento Kings tried to beat them at their own game, but then got hits in transition, and it's safe to say that it hasn't been attempted since. The home team did stage a comeback, cutting the deficit to 8 points when Ty Lawson showed up. However, it was destined to be about the beard after this rebound. His 21st triple-double confirmed, but Harden wasn't done just yet. Another one from downtown, coming right up. Plus, the drive for the layup contributed to his 35-point display. The Rockets took the game by 7.
Lots of conversations about different stats and your total assists and points produced and Russ's triple-doubles. Is team record something that matters to players?
I think that's the most important thing. I thought winning was what this was about, period. So I'm not going to get into depth with all that, but I thought winning was the most important thing. And, if you set your team up in a position to have a chance at the ultimate goal, then that's the most important thing.
I know you're good friends with Russell. Like he set the triple-double record. Just your thoughts on that ahead.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. He's playing extremely well all season long, and it's that's never been done before. So it's a great individual accomplishment, and I think it's great.
Did you text him or anything, congratulating him on what he accomplished?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Matter of fact, I'm gonna text him when I get on the bus. It's big time, man.
Well, it's always been about winning, hasn't it? Now, 2016 had been the best year for the current world #1, Angelique Kerber. The German clinched both US and Australian Open titles, and on top of that, Kerber also made it to the Wimbledon finals. However, the same can't be said of 2017. The 29-year-old's 20 collective week reign has been a disaster so far, with 3 third-round exits, 3 quarterfinals, and 2 finals lost, including in Mexico. In only her second final appearance as world #1, Angelique Kerber faced Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the Monterrey Open final. History favored the German 5-3 prior to this game, but we are quickly reminded that it was the Russian who beat Kerber in the 2013 final. First set goes to Pavlyuchenkova, and then Kerber responded as expected of any world #1. Pavlyuchenkova not doing any favors for herself, committing a double fault to hand over a 5-3 lead to the German. And with that racket out of the way, the Russian conceded the second set. After a harsh lesson learned, Pavlyuchenkova raced to a 5-1 lead before clinching her 9th career title in 2 hours, also the 4th crown for the Russian hero.
Congratulations and more congratulations. A great week for the Russians was rounded up when 19-year-old Daria Kasatkina clinched her maiden WTA Tour title at Charleston. Kasatkina shared a similar record with her compatriot Pavlyuchenkova. Both have already beaten the world #1 Kerber this season, and her potential was apparent here at Charleston after clinching the first set. She also raced to a 5-1 lead with a break point in the second. Now, the only difference was Kasatkina didn't need a decider in this matchup. No, she did not, taking it in straight sets in just over an hour. Look out for this girl. You're probably looking at the next big thing in women's tennis. And over in the Davis Cup, Serbia was already leading by 3 at this point, and a win for Dusan Lajovic would make things much more sweeter in progressing to the semis, and that's what he did, landing a forehand winner on his own serve against Joao Mona. A great result for him and his fellow Serb, Novak Djokovic, who was worried he'd take all the spotlight, so he was around to sign some autographs, very cheeky from the Joker. Then, with nothing left to play for the Spanish fans, you've got to remind them they were in full support of their players. Wonderful pride from the Spaniards. Albert Ramos Vinolas came out to compete in the dead rubber tie. And he redeemed some pride back for his country with a 6-2, 6-1 victory. This one ended up 4-1 to Serbia.
6-2, 6-1.
So in the past 7 years, Serbia has only won the tournament once, back in 2010. With this win, could the Serbs be back on track? After losing in the last 8 in back-to-back tournaments, they have finally secured a date with France in the next round. Well, the next round of the Davis Cup will take place in September, with 7th seed Belgium taking on Australia in the other semis.
Right now, it's time for Mark and I to take a short break, but when we come back, we are turning our attention to what happened in the French League over the weekend. Plus...
Side that far post, it was a really, really good finish. Got the spin on the...
It's not the first time he's done it this season. He's becoming quite the free kick specialist, but Dembele seems to duck underneath the ball.
Sejak kejohanan dalam kalender BW.
If you want to experience the true beauty of diving, don't just dip your toes in the water. You have to really take the plunge. The FINA Diving World Series, live on Astro Supersport and HD.
Welcome back, and we are kicking off the countdown to when you can meet Ida Johnson in person. Come on over to Bajaya Times Square this Sunday for your chance to meet the former Chelsea, Barcelona and Iceland international. And check this out, if you want to have a chance to have a lunch with a 2-time Premier League and Champions League winner himself, you've got to check out Morgan Field's website for more details. Over in France, PSG hosted to Guingamp. The visitors were amongst 5 teams that have beaten PSG twice in League One since their new cash-strapped owners had come in. And that was apparent when the home side were left frustrated in the first half, mainly due to the organised defence of the visitors. They were not let them through. And when PSG did get through, their opposing keeper, Carl Johnson, stood in their way. So head coach Unai Emery had to make some tactical changes, introducing Javier Pastore to the front line. And those changes really paid off. 3 minutes later, Angel Di Maria got his name on the score sheet. 9 of PSG's last 10 goals against Guingamp had come in the second half, and after Di Maria's opener, the floodgates simply were open. Leading scorer Edison Cavani sealing it with a brace, making it 4 goals in 3 games against the opposition. And there was even time for captain and birthday boy, happy birthday by the way, Blaise Matuidi to sneak it in, 4-0 PSG. So that win meant PSG kept pace with league leaders Monaco, who also won in the weekend. But with 2 away games looming ahead, the going is about to get even tougher in their quest for their 5th consecutive league title. Recapping our top story this Monday.
Russell Westbrook rewrote NBA history by beating Oscar Robertson's triple-double record in a season. In the process, he also beat the great Wilt Chamberlain for most career triple-doubles, moving into 4th place all-time. Russ is also the first player with 4 50-point games in the season. The last person to do it was Kobe Bryant 10 years ago. Russ now has 5 career 50-point games, passing Kevin Durant for most in Thunder history. But with 2 more regular season games left, we really don't know how long those numbers will stay in the history books.
That last shot, did you have a good look on it? You were pretty far back there.
I practice that shot every day pregame, so I shoot from the same spot every day pregame, and definitely, and definitely felt confident in shooting that shot.
Wow, Reem, how often do we get two history-defining headlines on the same day? Right, another top story of today, Sergio Garcia ended his 74 majors drought by winning his first at this year's Masters. Garcia became the third Spanish international to do so. Garcia's win took a bit of a shine out of what Matt Kuchar did on the final day. What is he going to do, you may be wondering? Well, let's just see and wait. That's looking very nice. What's he going to do? Yes, you guessed it. A hole-in-one at the 16th. Just unbelievable. And he'd make this kid's day as well when he handed him the golf ball as a souvenir.
The San Francisco Giants were on a 4-game losing streak heading into this game against San Diego, but Hunter Pence hit 2 home runs to send the Giants up by 4.
4-0. Hunter Pence. Look at right.
Next up, Buster Posey sends it out of here, as the commentators would say.
On the move is Renfroe. It is out of here.
And then at the bottom of the 8th inning, San Diego learned a trick or two from their opponents because they hit it out of the park.
And gone. And it's 5-3.
The home side tried to catch up, but was denied in the bottom of the 9th inning. Parade struck out at first base, allowing the Giants to snatch a 5-3 victory. Next up, what went down over the weekend.
Nice turn by Hilda.
Might be a more
Malaysian Open badminton.
Than the 7 was.
Missed it. Lez Ann wins his first ever Malaysian Open title.
Nice pass from him, and a chance here for Griezmann, and he's found the back of the net, completely against the run of play. Antoine Griezmann scores the equaliser here at the Santiago Bernabeu. Well, would you believe it? Real Madrid have drawn here.
It's Lewandowski, goes down, and the referee says penalty. Now Lewandowski can do just that. For number 26, he does. Bayern München have once again won Der Klassiker.
Nobody's been ahead of Lewis Hamilton today. Hamilton takes the checkered flag and wins the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's all square at the top of the Drivers' Championship as Sebastian Vettel comes home for second place, 43 points each, and we move on to Bahrain in a week's time. Hamilton wins in China once more.
Sticking with speed, and I've got to say, I love this sport. The second race of the MotoGP season in Argentina was less of a race. Jorge Lorenzo crashed first, coming into contact with another racer early in the race. But check out his passion as he tries to get back on the bike. You go, mate, you go, keep going. Next up, reigning champion Marc Marquez crashed out, losing control of his bike, but quite a cool way to go out there, just like a boss. Someone should take a picture of that. A good teammate he was. Dani Pedrosa was not going to let his teammate go out alone. No, he joined the crash party, joining the club with a 3-roll in midair. More drama and another faller or two coming right up. Ducati's Andrea Dovizioso was wiped out by Graciela Aprilia over here. Looks quite dangerous, that, but the race would still conclude now as Maverick Vinales come in first place. Valentino Rossi came second, while Britain's Cal Crutchlow competed the podium.
Back to NBA for a bit. Now, the race for that top spot for the playoffs is really heating up in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Celtics are going to top that.
How could you say that? I thought you wouldn't speak in terms of LeBron. How can you say that, Reem? He's going to be very disappointed.
No, I think it's just too mainstream.
Well, the Cavs will be playing Miami while Boston play Brooklyn to close out the Eastern Conference regular season.
You can catch the updates and highlights on tomorrow's Daily with this guy again and Nadia.
Yes, we'll see you. And also, Crystal Palace will be hosting Arsenal as well. Look out for that. Anything else, Reem?
Well, no, I guess not. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
If you want to experience the true beauty of diving, don't just dip your toes in the water. You have to really take the plunge. The FINA Diving World Series, live on Astro Supersport and HD.
Time to unleash the beast.
Go!
You didn't think it could get any better, huh?
Fast and Furious movies in 2 bundles. Purchase on Channel 481 and on demand.
Warm up and tune in for some heavy metal with hands-on history. Ancient art.
Go back to the way it was 1,000 years ago.
Lives on.
We're leaving our mark.
Through modern-day Men of Steel.
It should be epic. Let's do it.
All new, Forged in Fire. All new, Milwaukee Blacksmith.
Let's get to work.
And Iron and Fire. Thursday nights from 9 on History.